Probably San Francisco's best signing so far this offseason was picking up Robert Saleh as their defensive coordinator. When I look at him, I see a straight up defensive genius. When you look at the Jets defense with him, for instance, they were top 5. Without him, they fell into the back half of the league. A big reason he's had so much success is his ability to identify weak parts of his defense and then go get players to fill those holes. For San Francisco last year, he identified the secondary as a clear weak point, and that's why he's been making so many signings, most recently signing Siran Neal to a 2-year deal. He's a versatile defensive back, being able to play both nickel and outside, and during college, he actually played linebacker and safety to go along with those other positions. And on top of all of that, he's probably one of the better special teams players across the entire NFL. So in this video, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the player that is Siran Neal to really understand what San Francisco is getting. The 30-year-old defensive back comes in at 6 foot, weighing right around 205 pounds, and he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.56 seconds and his 10-yard split in 1.59 seconds. But to truly understand the player he is, we need to dive into his film, starting out with his pass coverage. Initially on this play, he's going to be playing in the nickel back spot against Christian Watson, who runs his 40-yard dash in 4.36 seconds. But pay attention to how he's able to press man him, disrupt his route a little bit, turns his hips, and then runs with Christian Watson down the field, even though his 40's not even close. Then with Jordan Love targeting Christian Watson deep, he's able to get his head around and break up this pass. Thanks to his change of direction, he can also cover wide receivers underneath. Here, for instance, he does a double hand press technique against this wide receiver, and then with Jordan Love targeting him, he jumps on this route and is able to register the pass defense on his play. In man coverage, when he does use a press man technique and the wide receiver is able to beat it, he's also able to recover from this. Here against the Steelers, for instance, he's using a press man technique, but this wide receiver beats him, and you can see how much separation this creates. But because of his athleticism, Neal is able to track down this wide receiver and gets his arm right between the wide receiver's hands and breaks up this pass. Outside of breaking up passes in man coverage, Neal also shows the tenacity in zone coverage to read the quarterback's eyes and then break on the pass, which shouldn't be surprising because of his background as a linebacker and safety. To highlight this point, on this play with Neal lined up in the slot, he has a hook to curl zone. He's first reading this quarterback to make sure he doesn't jump off immediately to this wide receiver, but with him reading the quarterback coming back to this tight end, so does he, and he breaks up this pass on this play. Another aspect I like about Neal in zone coverage is his ability to come up and make open field tackles. Here going against Allen, for instance, he's able to identify this back coming out of the backfield, triggers on it, breaks down, and makes the open field tackle. Like San Francisco's other defensive backs, he's also a willing tackler. In a similar way going against the run, he does a good job of showing off his tenacity, in large part probably due to his background as a linebacker in college. Here, for instance, taking on this wide receiver, he's able to shed his block and then even bring him down. Now playing in the box, you can further see his linebacker instincts take over. He takes his read step, takes on this tight end, sheds his block, and then meets this back, helping bring him down before scoring. Even if he doesn't start on the defensive side of the ball though, Neal is going to have a major impact on the special teams side of the ball. San Francisco picked up a new special teams coordinator in Brant Boyer, and he's going to love Neal. Where I think he's an immediate upgrade is at the gunner position because he does a great job of fighting off blocks running down the field. Then in open space, he lays out some brutal tackles. Even though this film gives us glimpses of the player that is Siran Neal, to get a full grasp of who he is, because he has such a unique background, I wanted to briefly go over his career up to this point. We were first introduced to Siran Neal at Abbeville High School and Eufaula High School in Alabama. There he played wide receiver, safety, and linebacker. And as a senior, he was a first-team All-State selection after registering 22 receptions for 377 yards and 8 touchdowns. According to 24/7 Sports, he was ranked as a 2-star recruit and had offers from UAB, West Alabama, and Jacksonville State. Ultimately, he decided to enroll at Jacksonville State, and as a freshman, he played linebacker, registering 32 tackles and 3 passes defended. As a sophomore though, he transferred over to the safety position. That year, he had 40 tackles, 4 passes defensed, and 1 interception. The following year in 2016 though, he switched back to the linebacker position, registered 80 tackles, 5 passes defensed, and 1 interception. That was good enough for him to be selected as an All-Ohio Valley Conference selection. The following year in 2017 though, he bounced around once again, switching to safety as well as seeing some action at cornerback position. That year, he was able to register 39 tackles, his best by far, 12 passes defended, and 1 interception. After this year, he once again was a first-team All-Ohio Valley Conference selection, making it his second consecutive year in a row. After this breakout senior season, he decided to enter the 2018 NFL Draft. And at the Combine, he came in at 6 foot, weighing 206 pounds, and he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.56 seconds, his 10-yard split in 1.59 seconds, and he put up the bench press 17 times. After this Combine, scouts started to dive a little bit deeper into Siran Neal's film, and they saw his strengths as well as weaknesses. As far as his strengths went, they loved how he played all over the field, playing safety, corner, and linebacker. Specifically as a senior, they loved his ability to get inside a wide receiver's frame off the line of scrimmage and disrupt his route and press man techniques. And as the route developed, he did a good job of matching the wide receiver's movement thanks to his change of direction. And in the running game, he showed off the aggression of a linebacker, well, because he was one. He also had the ability to routinely shed blocks, find the running back, and bring him down in open space, but it wasn't only positives for Neal. In coverage, for instance, while he does have a great press man technique, when he did get beat, he often grabbed the wide receiver, leading to penalties. Perhaps the bigger question for Neal though in his college tape is what position did he really play? Was it linebacker? Was it safety? Was it nickelback? Was it a combination of all of these? And that was the biggest question. How would these skills transition over to the NFL, and how would schemes really be able to fit him? Regardless of these questions, the Buffalo Bills saw a talented player sitting there in round 5 with pick 17 of the 2018 NFL Draft and selected Siran Neal. Neal played with the Buffalo Bills for 6 years from 2018 to 2023 and registered 115 tackles, 5 passes defensed, and 3 forced fumbles. During that time, Neal was primarily a special teams player while also offering depth in the secondary. After that year in 2023 though, he was released by the Bills shortly after signing with the Miami Dolphins. And last year with the Dolphins, he was primarily once again a special teams player while also registering 2 passes defense teams edition as well as depth in the secondary. But I don't think he's necessarily going to be competing for a starting job immediately this year for San Francisco, but if he goes out there and proves he's one of the better defensive backs, what I love about Robert Saleh, he won't hesitate to start him. He doesn't care a player's background as long as he can play, and I believe Robert Saleh will be able to find the best role for a player like Neal. I'm envisioning maybe almost like a Jimmie Ward type deal, but ultimately these are just my thoughts on Siran Neal, and that's about this addition for San Francisco. And what do you think his impact will be? Do you think he'll be an immediate upgrade on the special team side of the ball, or maybe just a depth piece? It would also mean a ton to me if you could like and subscribe, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.